Have you ever been fired so suddenly that your brain couldn't process it, but your gut told you to smile anyway? Because mine did. And that smile? It wasn't defeat. It was the start of something Nathan never saw coming. My name's Riley Shaw. I was the lead systems architect at a mid-sized tech firm, and by all accounts, I was damn good at what I did. I'd just finished building a predictive analytics tool that Nathan, the company's COO, pushed out to every department with his name stamped on it. He loved to take credit, hated giving it. Classic. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. So imagine my face when he calls me into a beige conference room, no warning, no prior issues, and says, flatly, "You're done. Pack up your stuff." Just like that. 5 years gone with one breath. I looked him in the eye, nodded, and said, "Understood." But inside, I was thinking about what was already ticking in the system. A little automated time bomb, signed off by Nathan himself. He'd rushed it live. Never tested it. Never read the fine print. That decision would come back in ways he couldn't imagine. And Wednesday would be fun. Ever been let go so cleanly, so surgically, it didn't feel real until you heard the door shut behind you? Nathan didn't even pretend to soften the blow. I walked into the conference room, gray walls, 2 chairs, a pitcher of untouched water. And there he was, flanked by 2 HR reps like some overpaid mob boss. No eye contact, just his tablet glowing in front of him. "Riley," he said without a blink, "due to recent restructuring, your position is no longer essential." No warning. No thank you. Not even a fake apology. I'd spent 5 years building systems that kept this company from collapsing under its own bad decisions. I'd saved his neck more than once. Remember the December outage? I rebuilt our backend in 72 hours while Nathan was posting inspirational quotes on LinkedIn. But in that room, none of it mattered. I was non-essential. I didn't cry. I didn't argue. I smiled. That confused him. Then came the humiliation walk, back to my desk, past the stares of people pretending not to look. I could hear whispered guesses, keyboard stopping. But it was Lena, my intern turned ride or die, who slipped something into my palm as I packed. A USB drive. "You'll want this," she said under her breath. And as I walked out, Marcy from HR gave me a look. Not pity. Regret. I still didn't know what was on that drive. But I did know this. Nathan had just made the worst mistake of his career. Because I didn't need my job to finish what I started. What if I told you the system my boss used to fire me was the same one that would expose him? Back at my apartment, I plugged in the USB. I wasn't expecting much. Maybe backups, maybe a few saved project files. But the folder structure was meticulous. Too meticulous. That's when it hit me. Lena hadn't just given me files. She'd given me access. At the root of it all was a hidden environment, a mirrored version of our Orion Analytics dashboard. I'd helped build Orion 6 months ago, a real-time performance tracker designed to spot internal inefficiencies and show department trends. Transparent. Fair. Data-driven. At least, that's what I designed it to be. But the dashboard I saw on that USB was different. It was the shadow version. The one Nathan and his cronies used behind closed doors. Custom score modifiers, ranking overrides, auto-flagging filters, all manipulated to justify layoffs under the guise of metrics. And here's the kicker. The original system still ran my automation script, the one that generated weekly summary reports. Raw data. Unaltered. Timestamps. Digital signatures. Logs. Everything. And the next report? It was already queued. Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Automatically sent to the board, compliance, and HR. And the best part? Nathan approved it 2 weeks ago. Clicked authorize without reading a single line of what he was signing. I didn't need to hack a thing. All I had to do was nothing. But just as I leaned back, smiling, my phone buzzed. A text from Lena. "He just tried to revoke your admin creds. I think he knows." Ever waited for a bomb to go off that you didn't even have to build? Wednesday started like any other, except I wasn't in the office. I was across the street at Juniper and Ivy, sipping my usual oat milk chai, laptop open, eyes on the clock. 8:57 a.m. 3 minutes. It wasn't nerves I felt. It was something colder. Sharper. Like the seconds before a wave crashes and pulls everything beneath it. My phone buzzed. Lena. They're all in the executive meeting. Nathan looks like he hasn't slept. You'd love this. I clicked into Orion's admin panel. Not to change anything, just to watch. The report was still locked. Still queued. Still bearing Nathan's digital signature. 8:59. Sarah from compliance popped up in the email thread. Legal was CC'd. Board 2. The recipients were already baked in. I'd built it that way, assuming transparency would protect good work. I never imagined it would unmask a man. 9 o'clock. The report sent. At first, silence. Then a flood of texts. Lena, they're reading it now. Lena again. Marcy just asked if this was intentional sabotage. Nathan's denying everything. And then, he's yelling. Blamed IT. Said someone hacked his access. But IT? They'd confirmed he had approved the report. His name was on every query. Every filter. Every override. All timestamped. All traceable. I didn't fabricate anything. I didn't leak it. I just built the system and let it do its job. And as Nathan scrambled, panicked, sweating under boardroom lights, my email pinged with a request. Subject: Internal Audit Assistance, urgent. But what they didn't know was that I hadn't even played my final card. What's better than revenge? Letting the truth do the work for you and watching the liars sink in their own signatures. By noon, the office was in freefall. HR launched an internal investigation. The board called an emergency session. Nathan was escorted out of the building, no warning, no fanfare. Just like he'd done to me. Poetic, isn't it? I never set out to burn anything down. I didn't leak files. I didn't manipulate code. I just built a system with guardrails, and Nathan drove it straight off the cliff. The audit found doctored performance data linked to multiple terminations. At least 7 employees were fired under false efficiency scores. Legal didn't care about his excuses. They cared about liability. And with those signatures, he had none left to stand on. I was offered my job back within 48 hours. Higher title. More pay. Direct report to the CTO. I said no. Instead, I forwarded one final file to the board, an annotated timeline of every executive override, every shortcut, every silent backdoor Nathan used. I closed the email with the exact words he used on me. This isn't personal. Just business. So, what's the lesson here? Sometimes, you don't need to fight the villain. You just have to build the mirror and let them stare into what they've become. Would you have taken the job back? Or walked away like I did? Drop your story in the comments, because I know I'm not the only one with a Nathan. And if you want more stories like this, you know what to do.